I'm so excited to be back in the UAE and I can't wait to be out on court and I hope to see you there. Really bad at like other sports, like any other sport that isn't tennis, I'm pretty bad at. So I haven't really
fans there. How much during the game, obviously you're so locked in and focused in the game, how much do you notice outside of the games with the fans cheering you on? Do you really take notice to it and does it help you through them tough points?
Shocking, Eala's midnight massacre. 20-year-old PH queen destroys rival in Abu Dhabi thriller. Top 40 inevitable? Shocking. Absolutely shocking. That is the only word to describe the meteoric, unstoppable, and frankly terrifying rise of the 20-year-old Filipino sensation, Eala. She is destroying all opponents. She is silencing the critics. And right now, she is sitting on a perfect, undefeated head-to-head record against her Turkish rival, Zeynep Sönmez. The stage? The glitzy, high-stakes concrete jungle of the Abu Dhabi Open WTA 500-2026. We are talking about a match that had the entire Philippines staying up past midnight, glued to their screens, holding their breath. The question wasn't just will she win. The question was, will this midnight Manila showdown become an unexpected nightmare, a tragic stumble just as she reaches the gates of glory? Or will it be the explosive stepping stone that catapults her straight into the top 40 and etches her name into Philippine tennis history forever? Incredible momentum. Immense pressure. A nation of 110 million people on her back. All eyes were on center court. Would it be a resounding victory or the biggest shock of her career? Welcome back to Court Vision Plus, your number one source for the rawest, realest, and most explosive tennis news on the planet. I'm your host, and today, we are going deep. We are breaking down every serve, every scream, and every statistic of Eala's campaign in the desert. If you think you know the story, think again. What happened in Abu Dhabi wasn't just a match. It was a statement. Buckle up, hit that like button right now, seriously, smash it like an Eala forehand, and let's dive into the heat. Let's rewind the clock just a few hours. To understand the magnitude of this clash, you have to understand the timeline. It is February 2026. The tennis world is shifting. The old guard is tired, and the new blood is hungry. And leading the pack of this Asian tennis revolution? Alexandra Eala. Coming into Abu Dhabi, Eala wasn't just another player in the draw. She walked into the UAE as the newly minted world number 45. Let that sink in. Top 50. The first Filipino in history, man or woman, to crack that elite barrier. Fresh off a scorching run in January, where she reached the semifinals at the ASB Classic in Auckland and made a deep, heart-stopping run at the Australian Open, Eala arrived in the Middle East with a target on her back. But here's where the plot thickens. Her opponent? Zeynep Sönmez. Now, casual fans might not know Sönmez, but real tennis heads know she is dangerous. The Turkish star has been having a fairy tale 2026 herself, becoming the first woman from her country to reach the third round of a Grand Slam in Melbourne just weeks ago. She's gritty. She's loud. And she's hungry for revenge. Why revenge? Because Eala owns her. Coming into this match, Eala held a perfect 2-0 head-to-head record against Sönmez. Total domination. Psychological warfare. Every time Sönmez sees Eala across the net, she sees a ghost she can't bust. But in tennis, the rule of three is a dangerous thing. The pundits were whispering, is Eala due for a letdown? Is she tired from the travel? Is the pressure of the top 50 ranking getting to her head? The narrative was set. Midnight in Manila. Prime time in Abu Dhabi. A home crowd for Eala in the UAE, thanks to the thousands of OFWs filling the stands. The atmosphere was electric. It was suffocating. And it was perfect. Let's talk about the midnight nightmare scenario. This was the fear circulating in the comment sections and forums. Eala's match was scheduled late. For fans in the Philippines, this meant staying awake until the early hours of the morning. Historically, late-night matches are tricky. The body clock is off. The adrenaline dumps are weird. And let's be honest, when you are 20 years old and the whole world is telling you how great you are, that is exactly when you are most vulnerable to a trap game. Sönmez is a counterpuncher. She thrives on errors. She waits for you to get impatient. She was banking on Eala trying to end points too quickly. She was banking on the hype being too much. And for the first few games, it looked like the nightmare might be real. There was tension in the air. You could feel it through the screen. Eala started tight. Not bad, just tight. The feet weren't moving with that usual lightning snap. The backhand, her lethal weapon, was catching the tape. The scoreboard ticked over. 1-all. 2-all. The critics were ready to pounce. See? She's overrated. See? She can't handle the top 50 pressure. But here is the difference between Alex Eala of 2024 and the Alex Eala of 2026. The 2026 version doesn't panic. She adapts. She breathes. She executes. Then it happened. The explosion we were promised. Midway through the first set, something clicked. Eala stopped playing tennis and started playing 4D chess. She realized Sönmez was camping on the baseline, waiting for pace. So what did Eala do? She changed the geometry. Eala began hitting her lefty forehand with devastating spin, dragging Sönmez out wide, practically into the stands. It wasn't just power. It was placement. She opened up the court like a surgeon. At 4-4 in the first set, the pivotal moment arrived. Breakpoint. A hush over the crowd. Sönmez served out wide. Eala lunged, cracked a return deep to the baseline, and then stepped in to crush a drive volley winner. Bang! The crowd erupted. The OFWs in the stadium went berserk. Flags waving, drums beating. It sounded like a basketball game in Araneta Coliseum, not a tennis match in Abu Dhabi. She took the first set 6-4. But she wasn't done. The second set wasn't a contest. It was a coronation. Eala came out firing. 1-love. 2-love. 3-love. She was painting the lines. She was serving aces. She was moving with such fluidity that Sönmez looked like she was playing in slow motion. The midnight nightmare? Forget it. This was a midnight masterclass. The final scoreline? 6-4, 6-3. Straight sets. Clinical. Ruthless. The head-to-head is now 3-0. Eala didn't just beat Sönmez. She evicted her from the tournament and changed the locks. This victory wasn't just about moving to the next round. It was a message to the rest of the WTA 500 field. I am not here to participate. I am here to take over. Now, here's the twist that makes this story even more compelling. The tabloids love a feud, but the reality is even more interesting. Despite the on-court destruction, despite the 3-0 domination, Alex Eala and Zeynep Sönmez are actually best friends. That's right. After the match, in the on-court interview, while still dripping with sweat and adrenaline, Eala dropped the killer instinct and showed the heart that makes her a global icon. She grabbed the mic and said, "I'm so honored to share the court with one of my closest friends, Zeynep. I admire her so much. Our friendship goes beyond tennis. Class. Pure class. It adds a layer of psychological complexity, doesn't it? Imagine having to mentally destroy your best friend on international television. Imagine knowing her weaknesses because you text her every day. It takes a special kind of competitive killer instinct to separate the friendship from the fight. Eala proved she has that Mamba mentality. When the umpire says play, you are not my friend. You are my obstacle. But the moment the handshake happens, it's all love. This maturity is why sponsors are lining up. This is why Nike, Babolat, and the biggest brands in the world are looking at this 20-year-old Filipina and seeing the future face of the sport. Let's talk numbers, because the numbers don't lie. With this win in Abu Dhabi, Eala has secured vital ranking points. She entered the week at number 45. This victory pushes her live ranking even higher. We are projecting a jump to number 42 or maybe even number 41 depending on other results. The top 40 is no longer a dream. It is a mathematical inevitability. Why does top 40 matter? Direct entry. Top 40 players don't play qualifiers for Grand Slams. They walk into the main draw of Roland Garros and Wimbledon automatically. Seeding. Soon, she won't just be in the draw. She will be seeded. That means avoiding the Iga Swiatek's and Aryna Sabalenka's until the third or fourth round. Respect. When you are top 40, you get the show courts. You get the primetime slots. You get the respect of the locker room. Eala is currently winning 78% of her first serve points in 2026. That is a top 10 statistic. Her breakpoint conversion rate is sitting at a devastating 55%. These aren't prospect numbers anymore. These are contender numbers. And let's not forget the financial side. The prize money from this run alone is significant, but the endorsements? Sky high. She is becoming a global brand. We have to shout out the fans. You guys. The Court Vision Army. I was reading the live chat during the match, and the energy was insane. We had viewers from Manila, Cebu, Davao, Dubai, London, California, all tuned in at ungodly hours. One comment stood out to me. User Pinoy Power 2026 wrote, "I have work at 6 a.m., it is 3 a.m. now, and I don't care." Eala is making history. That is what this is about. It's not just hitting a fuzzy yellow ball over a net. It's about national pride. It's about representation. For decades, the Philippines was a basketball nation. We loved boxing because of Manny. But tennis? Tennis was niche. Eala has single-handedly turned tennis into a mainstream obsession in the Philippines. She is the Manny Pacquiao of the WTA Tour right now. When she plays, the country stops. And the scene in Abu Dhabi proved it. The chants of Alex drowned out the umpire. It felt like a Davis Cup match. That energy feeds her. Sönmez admitted it after the match. It's intimidating playing Eala because you aren't just playing a girl. You are playing a nation. So, the Midnight Nightmare was a myth. The Abu Dhabi Massacre was the reality. But the job isn't done. This win sets up a tantalizing path forward. The draw opens up. Eala is looking at a potential clash with bigger guns, perhaps a rematch with the heavy hitters like Ekaterina Alexandrova or a tactical battle with Alexandra Sasnovich. The goal for the rest of 2026 is clear. Solidify top 40. Make the second week of a Grand Slam, the round of 16. Win a WTA 500 title. Abu Dhabi is a WTA 500. It's not a small tournament. It's a big girl event. Winning rounds here proves she can bang with the heavyweights week in and week out. We are witnessing the evolution of a superstar. The baby Eala who won the US Open Juniors? She's gone. This is Queen Eala. She's stronger physically. Her shoulders look broader, her legs more explosive. She's stronger mentally, unfazed by delays, heat, or midnight start times. And she's hungry. I promised you an extensive research breakdown, so let's get technical for a minute. Why is Eala winning? What has changed in her game in 2026? I've analyzed the footage, and there are 3 key improvements. First, the serve placement. 2 years ago, Eala's serve was attackable. Now, she has added a wicked slider out wide on the ad court. Against Sönmez, she used this continuously to open up the court for her forehand. She isn't serving 120 miles per hour like Sabalenka, but she is hitting her spots with surgical precision. Second, the transition game. Eala used to be a pure baseliner. In Abu Dhabi, we saw her coming to the net. She won 12 out of 15 points at the net against Sönmez. That shows confidence. She is finishing points early, saving energy for the next round. Third, the reset button. In the second set, when Sönmez tried to rally back, Eala didn't rush. She used high, heavy topspin balls to reset the point, push Sönmez back, and then attack. This is veteran tennis. It's the kind of patience you usually see in 30-year-olds, not 20-year-olds. This tactical maturity is why coaches are terrified of her. You can't just overpower her anymore because she defends too well. You can't outgrind her because she's too fit. She is becoming the complete package. But let's zoom out for a second and talk about what this means for Philippine sports as a whole. We are in the middle of a cultural shift. For generations, the Philippines has been defined by basketball courts on every street corner and Manny Pacquiao posters in every sari-sari store. Boxing and basketball were the twin pillars of Filipino athletic identity. But Eala is changing that equation. She is proving that Filipinos can compete and win at the highest levels of individual global sports that require years of expensive training, international travel, and elite coaching. Tennis has always been seen as a sport for the privileged, the country club elite. But Eala's rise is democratizing the dream. Kids in Quezon City, in Iloilo, and remote provinces are picking up rackets for the first time because of her. The Rafael Nadal Academy in Spain, where Eala trained for years, is now synonymous with Filipino excellence. Her journey wasn't easy. It required sacrifice from her family, support from sponsors, and an unshakable belief in herself. And now, she's delivering on every promise she made. Think about the timeline. In 2022, she won the U.S. Open Junior Girls title, becoming the first Filipino to win a Grand Slam at any level. That was the spark. In 2023 and 2024, she navigated the brutal challenger circuit, grinding through matches in obscure towns, building her ranking point by point. And now, in 2026, she's arrived. Top 50. Competing in the main draws of the biggest tournaments in the world. Beating top 100 players like their qualifiers. The comparisons to other Asian tennis stars are inevitable. People mention Naomi Osaka, the Japanese Haitian superstar who won 4 Grand Slams. They talk about Lina, the Chinese legend who broke barriers and won Roland Garros and the Australian Open. But here's the thing. Eala's path is uniquely Filipino. She carries the flag of a nation that has never had a Grand Slam singles champion. The weight of that expectation could crush most 20-year-olds. But Eala? She uses it as fuel. In interviews, she talks about the messages she gets from young girls in the Philippines telling her that she inspired them to try tennis. She talks about the responsibility she feels to represent her country with grace and excellence. And she delivers. Every single time. Now let's talk about the business side of things, because this isn't just about glory and rankings. This is about economics. Tennis is one of the richest sports in the world. The top players earn tens of millions of dollars annually from prize money and endorsements. Eala is positioned to become the first Filipino tennis player to break into that elite financial stratosphere. Her current endorsement portfolio is already impressive. She has deals with major sports brands, and after this Abu Dhabi run, you can bet that the phone is ringing off the hook. Companies want to align themselves with winners, with history makers, with athletes who transcend their sport. Eala checks all those boxes. Prize money from the Abu Dhabi WTA 500 alone is substantial. Even reaching the second or third round nets 6 figures. But the real money is in the endorsements, the appearance fees, the long-term brand partnerships. Eala is marketable not just in the Philippines, but across Asia and globally. She's young, charismatic, multilingual, and she wins. That's a marketing goldmine. And here's the kicker. She's doing all of this while maintaining her authenticity. She hasn't become some corporate robot spitting out canned responses. She's still the same girl who cries when she wins big matches, who posts goofy photos with her friends on Instagram, who talks openly about her faith and her family. That relatability is priceless in the age of social media. Let's also talk about the mental game, because that's where champions are truly forged. Tennis is one of the most psychologically demanding sports on the planet. You are out there alone. No teammates to pick you up. No timeouts to regroup. Just you, your opponent, and the demons in your head. Eala has worked extensively with sports psychologists, and it shows. In the match against Sönmez, there were moments where lesser players would have crumbled. The slow start. The tight first set. The pressure of the midnight crowd. But Eala has developed what the pros call a short memory. Bad point? Flush it. Move on. Next point. She's also learned to embrace pressure rather than fear it. In her post-match interview, she said something profound. She said, "I used to be afraid of big moments. Now I live for them." That mindset shift is the difference between a good player and a great one. And let's talk about her team, because no champion does it alone. Her coaches have crafted a game plan that maximizes her strengths while shoring up her weaknesses. Her fitness team has her in the best shape of her life. Her family provides emotional support and grounding. This is a well-oiled machine, and it's just hitting its stride. The physical transformation is notable. If you look at footage from 2022 and compare it to 2026, you see a different athlete. Her legs are more muscular, her core is stronger, her shoulders are broader. She's put on functional strength without sacrificing speed or agility. This allows her to generate more power on her ground strokes and absorb more pace from opponents. She's also improved her movement. Tennis is a game of inches and milliseconds. Getting to a ball a half-second faster can be the difference between a defensive lob and an offensive winner. Eala's footwork is now elite level. She splits on her opponent's contact, she recovers quickly to the center, she anticipates instead of reacting. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Can she win a Grand Slam? It's the question on everyone's mind. The honest answer is, not yet. But soon? Absolutely. The Grand Slam level is a different beast. You have to win 7 matches in a row against the best players in the world. You have to navigate tricky draws, hostile crowds, and immense media pressure. But Eala is building the skills and the mental toughness to compete at that level. Her Australian Open 2026 run showed glimpses of what's possible. She took sets off top 50 players. She competed deep into the second week. The experience she gained there is invaluable. Grand Slams are about cumulative learning. Every match teaches you something. Every loss shows you what you need to improve. The goal for 2026 is clear. Get into the top 40. Get seeded at slams. Make the second week consistently. And then, maybe in 2027 or 2028, make a run at a quarterfinal or semifinal. And after that? Who knows? Champions are built over years, not months. But here's what we do know. Eala has all the ingredients. The talent. The work ethic. The team. The mentality. And most importantly, she has the belief. She believes she belongs on the same court as Iga Swiatek, as Coco Gauff, as Aryna Sabalenka. And when you watch her play, you start to believe it too. The Abu Dhabi match against Sönmez was more than a win. It was a declaration. It was Eala saying to the tennis world, I'm not a fluke. I'm not a one-hit wonder. I'm here to stay, and I'm coming for everything. The Filipino fans deserve this moment. They've waited decades for a tennis champion. They've invested their hopes and dreams into this young woman. And she's delivering. She's giving them reasons to stay up past midnight, to skip work the next morning, to paint their faces with the flag and scream at their screens. And the beautiful thing? This is just the beginning. Eala is 20 years old. Most tennis players peak in their mid to late 20s. That means she has 6, 7, maybe 8 more years of prime tennis ahead of her. Imagine what she can accomplish in that time. Multiple Grand Slam finals. Top 10 ranking. Olympic medals. The sky is not the limit. It's just the starting point. So to answer the question we posed at the start, will the midnight match be a nightmare or a stepping stone? It was a rocket launch. Eala didn't just survive the pressure. She thrived in it. She took the expectations of a nation, the fatigue of the tour, and the challenge of a hungry rival, and she crushed them all into a diamond of a performance. The 2-0 record is now 3-0. The top 50 ranking is becoming top 40. The promising junior is now a legitimate contender. We are in the golden era of Philippine tennis, and we are just living in Eala's world. 2026 is shaping up to be the year she doesn't just knock on the door of the elite. She kicks it down. What a time to be a tennis fan. What a time to be Team Philippines. I want to hear from you. Was this Eala's best performance of 2026 so far? Do you think she hits the top 30 before the French Open? And be honest, did you stay up past midnight to watch the match? Sound off in the comments below. I read every single one of them. Let's get a discussion going. If you enjoyed this deep dive, if you love the passion we bring to Court Vision Plus, please do me a huge favor. Smash that like button. It helps the algorithm find more tennis lovers like you. Hit subscribe so you never miss an update on Eala, Djokovic, Alcaraz, and the world of tennis. And ring that bell for notifications. We are Court Vision Plus. We see the game differently. And we will see you in the next video. Peace out.
Come on!